In the following video, you will learn how to use the Databases tab of your course LibGuide in Human Services 212 to find resources for your major writing assignment. We're currently looking at the Databases tab of your course LibGuide. Each one of the boxes that you see on this screen is either a link to an individual database available through the library or a listing of databases in a subject area that you could access, again, to conduct research for the major writing assignment. We're going to start off by discussing first what is a database. A database is simply a collection of information. You could think of a database as an online version of a library. They contain resources that were once published in things like a print journal, a magazine, a newspaper, a reference book, an ebook. So again, you're thinking along the lines of resources that you might find in a physical library, only in this case, you're accessing them digitally. We're going to look at some of the boxes that are on this page so you can learn a little bit more about some of the databases that you will find here. Let's start with an overview, and then from there we'll look at some of the sources. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll find the library's criminal justice, psychology, and human services databases. You'll notice that these cover a variety of different subject areas, from criminal justice, government, psychology, and behavioral sciences, which would probably be the best one in this particular box for your human services class, and then lastly, University Press Scholarship Online. These two particular databases have a strong slant towards the psychology aspect of things. This one has quite a few academic journals, while this one has quite a few academic ebooks. Below that, you'll find our allied health databases. These are databases that focus on topics related to both physical health as well as mental health. The two CINAHL databases are the most popular ones in this box, and they're labeled as being best bets. But in addition to the two CINAHL databases, a few other ones that might be of interest to you for this particular assignment are AAFP Conditions A to Z, the Health and Medicine database from Gale 1 file, and HealthSource Nursing Academic Edition. Over here on the left-hand side, you may actually notice a few of these database collections if you watch the video that's over on your Books tab. We also have links to the Credo Reference ebook collection and the Gale eBooks ebook collection over here on this particular tab. At the top of this column, you'll find the Statistical Abstract of the United States. This is a single ebook database that our library subscribes to that gives you government statistics. So you might be able to find a statistic about your disability from this particular collection. And then as we scroll down on the page, two more that I'll highlight for you are Films on Demand and Canopy. These are the library's two streaming video services. If you'd like to find an academic, scholarly video related to your chosen disability, you may want to search either in Films on Demand or Canopy. Let's go in and take a look at a few of these particular databases right now. Let's start out with AAFP Conditions A to Z. With this particular database, you would type in the disability that you're searching for up here in the search box. And any results that match what you searched for will come up on the list. Click on the ones that are of interest to you, and it will take you in so you can start looking at that particular resource. Don't forget, if you're familiar with library resources, they do come with a citations feature that will show you how to cite the source properly, but these should still be double-checked for accuracy before using them on a final references list. Next, we're going to take a look at one of the CINAHL databases. And of these two, CINAHL Complete is the larger of the two databases. So we're going to go into that one. If you are at all familiar with library resources and happen to watch the video that's on the Books tab of your LibGuide, you may think that this search screen looks familiar. The company EBSCO makes a lot of the library's resources, so while the search screens may look similar from resource to resource, the information that's found in each one of these items is different. Now, another thing that you may remember from searching the library's resources, if you watch the video on the Books tab, is that a lot of the library's resources come with suggested searches. What they're doing is they're telling you, we think this is what you maybe are looking for. Does one of these searches fit the criteria of what you want? And if you see your suggested search on the list, you can go ahead and click on it and it will conduct the search for you. So if I was looking for deafness, you can see it's here on the list. But they do give me some other suggested searches. And this is great for finding some other search terms that you may not have necessarily thought of. So whereas I maybe would be thinking I'm strictly going to search for deafness, I may not have thought of the word deaf as a search term, or the phrase hard of hearing, or the phrase hearing impaired as being a possible search. Now, one thing that you'll notice in this particular search, they put the word or between all the suggested search items. What or does when you put it between different sets of search terms or phrases is it tells the library resource that it can find any resources that have this, 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 or this. It doesn't have to have all of them. It just has to have at least one of those components within what it happens to find. So an OR search is very broad if there are different search terms that may work for your particular disability. Let's say I did a simple search just for deafness. I'm going to get every result that includes that particular search term. If I want to narrow down a results list, all I have to do is add the word and add another search term. What that does is it adds another component to the search so that everything that's found includes both of my search terms. So if I did something like deafness and employment, I will get a smaller results list than the nearly 3,900 results that are found here. And doesn't have to be capitalized. I do it strictly so it stands out to you when you see this search. And now you'll notice that my results list has gone down quite a bit because I gave the database something else to look for. Now, one other thing that you'll want to keep in mind is when you're searching our library's databases and you're finding articles, you may want to limit yourself to peer-reviewed journal articles. This is the highest level of journal article writing. These are articles that are reviewed by peers of the author to determine its validity and if it meets the publication criteria of the journal in which it appears. So when you check that box, oftentimes your results list will go down a little bit because you've given something else for the database to look for. You can also limit yourself by date of publication. So if you want perhaps more recent articles, you can limit to articles from the last 5, 10, or however many years are of interest to you. When you find one that looks good to you, simply click on it and it takes you to a page that looks like this. Oftentimes with our databases, what you'll want to do is look for the PDF full text link. That will take you in so you can read the actual article itself as it originally appeared in print. And then over here on the right-hand side, two things to keep in mind. You have an email button that allows you to send this to yourself, and you can also submit an APA citation along with the article itself so that you get both of those items in your inbox. And then you don't have to go back and find this article again in the future. You can always just bring it up in your email inbox. And if you're curious to see what the citation would look like, there is a Cite button as well that you can click on. And again, as a reminder, do double check any citations that are given to you for accuracy. One of the main things that you want to look for is capitalization. Because the library's citations in our databases are computer generated, there are sometimes issues with either overcapitalization or undercapitalization. So do look over anything that's given to you before using it on your references list. And again, a few other databases that you may want to look for in the Allied Health section are Health and Medicine and Health Source Nursing Academic Edition. While I'm not going to do a search in it, I will click on the Statistical Abstract of the United States so you can see what it will at least look like if you were considering looking for any statistics. Bear in mind that again with this library resource, anything that you do find will come with a citation as well that you should double check for accuracy. And then the last thing that we're going to look at on this particular tab of your LibGuide, down here at the bottom, I told you about Films on Demand and Canopy, the library's 2 streaming video services. I'll go into Films on Demand right now and do one search so that you can see what streaming videos will look like through library resources. You'll see that there's a search box just like you would find in any library resource. When you go in and you conduct your search, when you get your results back in something like Films on Demand, what you receive are streaming videos. As you're going through the list, if you see a video that looks interesting to you, all you have to do is click on it and you can start watching that particular video. 2 nice things to point out to you about the videos that you find in Films on Demand. They all come with transcripts. So if you're watching this video and something is said in the video that's of interest to you that you want to include in your writing, you don't have to retype what you hear. You can simply click on transcript and everything that's said in the video will be over here for you to copy and paste and properly document in your assignment. The other nice thing is something that you've been hearing all along, and that's that there is a cite feature that you can click on to see the suggested citation. Again, double check it for accuracy. Wrapping up here, as a reminder, you have the option of watching some videos through the library. If you look through the assignment, you will see the ones that your professor suggested, and those are found on the Research Modules tab. And finally, if you need any assistance from the library, the Get Help tab is the one that you're going to click on, and you'll see all the various methods for contacting the library. We're more than happy to help you, so please reach out if you do need assistance. Thanks for watching.